Hi and welcome back. Okay, for the next part we're going to do some detailing in this section here. So, let us zoom in. This will give me a good idea of what I'm looking at. Now, again, we have some shapes down there, and what I'm really looking at now is perhaps maybe adding some decals or something like that to it, something useful on the inside, and then covering it, and then placing more decals over the top, and so on. So, it's just that there's something underneath, for the end user to actually look at, because that's part of this whole detailing issue. So what I'm going to do is go over here to lines, start a new shape with auto grid on, and actually rather than a line, perhaps a circle. Okay, turn off start new shape, do a rectangle. Okay, this gives us a chance to kind of make some shapes here. Like so. Now if we go over here, we can kind of do some booleans if we want, or whatever. There we are. Make sure they're all in. And then, using this shape, perhaps I could do a quick extrude. Not too much, obviously. Just a little bit. There we are. Just to give it some shape and convert it to edible poly. And then I can just attach this shape to there. Okay, and that's a nice, little interesting shape stuck on. And now, in the same spirit as before, what I'm going to do is just ring this. I'll do 2 connects just to save some time. There we are. And then to there. And then control and down to here. Don't want to do it 2 times really, just once will be enough. Quick chamfer. To about there perhaps. And I'm going to go straight through the middle as well. And a quick connect there. There we are. Alright. If I just go through here and hit delete. Now what I'm going to do is go into the bridge tool and do some bridge work. And down here. And then just select here and do a quick ring. And a connect. And then just grab this area here, do a quick weld just to make sure it's all shut up. Alright, that's quite nice. And grab this and just do a quick ring. Connect in there as well. Right. Now down here. Again, selecting the upper level. And just delete that. Go to bridge. And then select here. Quick connect. Oop, hang on. Before I do, to ring it, then connect. There we are. Okay, that's fine. Now what I'm going to do is select here, the same time I'm going to select here. And now I can chamfer this wide. Just click open to save me time. Bridge. And I'm just going to bridge the other one as well. You notice I'm kind of going for this uniform kind of indented areas here. I just think it looks nice. Okay, now I'm going to select these. I'm just going to chamfer mode. Just do this kind of carefully as I can, avoiding open this time. Okay. And now as you see we've got this area here as well. I'm kind of attempting, I suppose, in a way to give a kind of a vestibule effect. There we go. So now I'm going to inset that a little bit, and then bevel it a little bit, then inset it a little bit, and then extrude it down and in. I was doing inverse bevel. Now if we look over here, there's something not right going on there, so just quickly look around the edges here. Quick weld. Right, now try it. Inset. Bevel. Gonna make it a negative height. Inset. Secondary bevel. Positive amount. You have no idea how long I spent, up nights working out good ways of doing plating. But this method works well. Really does as well. Okay, so as you see now, I mean, it's not the most detailed view in the world, unfortunately, in the max viewport, but we do have this area here. So if I now go to my front viewport, I can kind of isolate this area. So first of all, I'll just use the select tool and just do this. Hold Control. Okay, drop into perspective and just check it. Now I've got ignore back facing on, that's no good. Do it again. Can't have ignore back facing on when we're doing this bit. Okay, drop back in perspective. Yep, that's fine. Alright, now I'm going to take a copy of it. So shift, drag, move that to there. I'm not going to clone it to an element, so I'm going to call this temp1, just so I know what it is. And I'm going to effect pivot only, send it to object, effect pivot off. Just move it out of the way. Okay, so that's our detail area. And you can kind of see better from the side now that it's removed, how it's going to fit in. Now what I'm going to do is select these bits, and grow them. Okay, and I'm going to grow them again, and again. Okay, that's fine. Delete them off. And that now leaves these holes. And now this is where things become more interesting, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to press A for angle snap, make myself a copy of this, 90 degrees with shift held. Let's move it out of my way. Okay, now let's move it into the right position. We can tell it's in the right position by just sinking it backwards. Now, as you see, it's a little bit high up. Just going to get in close. not sure why that's so high. I'll just move that down onto this line here, just so they completely overlap exactly. That's fine. Now I'm just going to shift this into that hole there. Drop into perspective. Now I'm going to drag it back inwards, so in my right viewport here. Just try and get them to literally sit on top of each other like that. It's fine. Now I just attach this and then just go around these corners, hit weld. Now press F3 and F4. What I'm going to do is literally just, here we can see where it's a little bit too high up. Let's just separate it off again. And then across. To about there. Now I'm going to copy this again, 90 degrees, because the other one's not at the right height, which is going to cause problems. And I'll move this one out. There we are. Now, if I attach this, up there, and across here, and across here, do a weld. Now the bottom part's not in the right place either. Let's just separate that out and have another look. Although I suspect this is because there are some minor differences in the actual height of this piece. So just move that to there. Okay, now let's do it. And now use some target weld. There and there. And bring that down to there, because there's nothing else for it to connect to. Just really trying to tidy it up as much as we can. Okay, now these areas. Okay, now grab these areas and start doing the welds. Just check down here, everything's in place. Certainly seems to be. Okay, that's fine. Now if I select by element, there, you can see it's all selected now. Now, along here, in this part, I did want to duplicate this by copying these in. However, if you think about it, it's probably quicker and easier for me to look at that. What's going on there? Hang on a second, I'll just quickly prepare this at the same time. And then I'm going to duplicate this. So, There we are. And I'm just going to go straight down this side in all its low polygon detail. And rip it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. Then we can choose which axis we want to copy it on. So I'm just going to copy it on that axis there, and then I can kind of slam it back into place. So let's just bring this up. Yeah, I think the y-axis will probably be ideal, really. Click OK. Right, what I'm going to do now is rotate this 45 degrees. Well, I'm sorry, not 45 degrees, 90 degrees. And then I'll kind of put these two halves together like that. Now, if I just attach them to each other, pull down here like that, click weld. Now we don't want to up the threshold too much, because it'll make errors in our mesh, which aren't good. So I think what I'll do is I'll just do it manually. I can just collapse those two together if I have to. There we are. Some real messy kind of rejoins over here. They need to be dealt with. Okay, that's much better. Go in there, just quickly do a weld. Quickly check it. It's fine. And there. Sometimes you see when you get the big errors in your mesh, it's a really good thing just to go and see if you can just do it a bit more manually. Okay, quick collapse there. Definitely a collapse here. Not often I use the collapse tool, actually. It's quite a good little tool. Okay. Now down this side. There. 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 Not collapse. Just a weld should do it. And there. Then here. Okay. Now let's look at the underside here. It's a bit of a mess going on. So, first of all, I don't really want to cap these manually because they're going to make a mess. So let's go into create. There we go. Now over here. And again, quick cap. Now we can see there's some problems going on here anyway, so I'll just do a create. And again here. Now hopefully, nope, still not going to let us do it. That's okay. What I'll do is I'll select these polygons here. And control select by vert. Then weld. thought as much. There's a couple of loose verts there. Okay, let's try it now. That's much better. Okay, so now I can clear this area down and make it into one big area. So for that, so I'm not ready to put detail down in this area yet. So until I am, I want to clear this part out. Backspace. And get rid of any excess verts. Said there aren't any. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, now I'm going to kill that. And I'm going to look at my model. And so far it's looking okay, apart from a couple of duff areas I can rebuild. That's what I tend to do when I get a polygon that looks like it's screwing up. I just rebuild it completely. It saves a lot of time. There we go. Don't know if you ever noticed that when you've got a model and polygons look like they're buggered up somehow. Anyway, what I do is just wipe them out and start again, because it means that basically your polygon has somehow or another, usually when you've done some sort of a weld process or something, just got bent. And of course, when you've got a four-sided object like that, bending it, the straight edge gets screwed. So and you can hear the faithful 3D Palace dog growling at the faithful 3D Palace cat. They don't seem to like each other very much. But it does lead to some interesting conflicts. There we go. Now if you look, we've got this one left over that won't go, so if I hit delete, I'll just recap the top. And it works again. Okay, so now, as you will probably be aware, we have a detail starting to appear on the bottom of our obelisk. Now we have this area here that I want to pan out some detail in, and then we're going to move up using the old plate on plate method. So until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next bit.